one and all, to episode 6 of the FoxCast. Got the same old crew as always here today, the three you know and love. First up, there's me. My name is Stokes. As always, the captain of the ship. To my right, I have the smoothest criminal you ever met in your life. His name is Nubo. Say hello, Nubo.
Cheers, guys.
And to my left is the most careless whisper you've ever heard in your single heart of your life. Say hello, everybody, Dinah.
Hello.
We've got a pretty fun episode for you guys today. It's going to be about the genre of romance.
Woohoo!
Hot summer, so we figured let's talk about one of the hottest topics in human society, romance. We all love talking about love, so we will be using our general stuff like trends and news and other stuff and recommendations throughout the episode, but the bulk of this episode will be focusing on a variety of topics related to how romance is depicted in, yeah, you guessed it, anime.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, just sit down, buckle up, and get ready to get angry at us for saying that romance is good that you didn't like, or vice versa.
Totally.
Nuvo, you go ahead and tell everybody if there are any trends going around the den lately.
Okay, let's talk about some trends. Lately, you foxes, you gotta start making some more Fire Flame trends. We've been dead lately. But we got 2 to talk about this week. But next week, or 3 weeks from now, we need some trends. Please, please, please. But anyway, the first trend is comment and show and tell you why it's terrible. So basically, all you were supposed to do was comment a show, and then I would tell you why it's terrible from my own perspective. We don't know who made this trend. We suspect it was Wexter or Salvador, but we don't know. But I thought it was a nice trend. What about you, Cab, or Den, if you took part in it?
I took part in it. I got nobody who commented on it, so I kind of just fell to the wayside for me because I think I joined too many days late. I'm not a big fan of the negative-based trends because I just don't want everybody spreading around like, I hate this. What do you hate?
Right.
Why do you hate it? Tell me why you hate it. Oh,
Yeah.
let's hate things.
Feel you.
And I just don't do trends.
It takes a lot for Den to do trends.
Yeah, I don't like trends about hating. Dinah just hates trends in general.
I feel you. I'm more positive based too, so I understand. And the final trend that was noteworthy was 1 like equal 1 favorite game. And I thought this shit was good. I know you liked it, Den, because you're a gamer. I mean, Cap. I don't know if Den a gamer or not, but
I am.
He games.
Plenty.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know.
He's a hidden PC gamer.
Oh, for real?
I am.
I'm learning. I never knew this. I never knew this. He kept this on the low.
I do. Keep everything on the low.
Ooh.
I suspect Dinah, even though he didn't partake in it, probably enjoyed reading everybody's at least.
Yeah, I did. And a lot of the games, I'm just like, that brings back memories.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a lot of people started with their absolute top favorites and then worked their way down through their list until they had nothing else to talk about. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna pick random games I like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun talking about it. Because I'm actually a huge gamer, so it's odd because I normally don't really talk about it that much on Kitsu. So to be able to actually take time to share some games I love, people are like, oh, you play that? I'm like,
Nice. Yeah, I seen it, and I love your replies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for all the trends. Because lately the trends been a wasteland, man.
Yeah, they've been pretty dead. But yeah, they're pretty fun. Not a lot to talk about there, ladies and gentlemen, but that's okay, because we are here
For the romance.
for something steamy, something just gives you a little tingle in the heart. The
Yes.
Doki Dokis.
Doki Dokis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're here to talk about romance. One of the, for most people at least, the most enjoyable things to partake in the anime, even though not every show with romance built into it is to everyone's taste. There's usually always a few out there for everybody. First off, guys, what do you look for in a romance? You want there to be hard-hitting drama? You want to just be the fluffs? You looking for something unique? What is it? How about you tell us first, Nubo? What really, what do you look for a romance in anime?
Well, for me, I look for realistic drama. I cast characters that I can fully devote, engage my feels meter towards. Well-written dialogue between romance players in the series that can really get me into it. The lines or the words spoken by the characters come off not cheesy, but really believable. Stuff like that It can give me bonding moments, gets me into that relatability. And the main cast or the couple or the love triangle, I gotta be fully invested into that too. Because if you don't have a good main cast or a good focus for your love, I'm just off. I don't care. It's just gonna feel like forced to me.
How do you feel about love triangles, love squares, love pentagons, love dodecahedrons?
I had no problem with them as long as everybody in that triangle or circle I can get their perspective. Because sometimes in triangles or love triangles, I feel in romance series, they fail sometimes because you can't understand why. So if I can get their perspective on why they doing certain things towards that person they love, I'm with it. Love triangle, 100%.
I can get there with you on that one. Anything else that you look for in a romance?
A good kissing, I guess.
That is definitely the number one reason why my girlfriend has watched many shows. She looks for shows that have kisses in them.
Yeah, man, you know.
Doesn't always end with a good result because the kisses are in there, but the show is not always great. But that is something I always genuinely want to see too. What about you, Dinah? What do you look for in a romance?
I don't usually go into a romance looking for a specific aspect of it, because every series kind of presents their theme of romance differently. Honestly, if I can name like a couple of things, very superficial romance traits, I would say I love blushing and I love tsunderes. I love those two traits in general in romance anime.
You must love shows like Maid-Sama and Toradora then.
I love Maid-Sama and Toradora. Maid-Sama was my first anime ever, and it was the show that introduced me to this whole Japanese medium. And I grew to love tsunderes because, best theories, fight me. Other reasons, it really depends on the series and how it presents it, like I said before. For example, shows such as Nisekoi, you probably expect no progression, quote-unquote progression, but you still enjoy just the interactions, the cute moments, the copious amounts of blushings between every talk in that harem, even though you know the main character not gonna be with anyone. But sometimes the show kind of hits hard in a feels kind of show. And that can be, it can be tragic, it can be really happy, such as, Ore Monogatari, that show just plain happy relationships. Or it can be a show like Kuzu no Honkai or White Album 2, where it kind of goes towards the darker route. And another thing that I kind of look for in certain romances is I would like to see some form of progression. Even though I said that Nisekoi doesn't have progression, at least, the interactions they have, it seems like you're building towards gradual, stronger bonds and relationships. I guess I do enjoy a kiss to kind of seal everything.
Yes, man. The kiss is everything.
Yeah, gotta love the cute moments and just the plain, simple human emotion of showing affection.
Yes.
A lot of times they are the building blocks of what shows that it is developing. Oh, for me, oh goodness. You guys have named a lot of them. It's kind of a combination of two things I normally want to see if I'm watching something that I know is romance-based, because if it has romance that I wasn't expecting, then I just kind of roll with it. But if it's a show that's built around that being at least one of the big main concepts, I want to see some kind of proper development that shows that the love was like blossoming and, like seeing those little moments that show that the two fall in love with each other. And two, I want to see part of their actual relationship, because a lot of anime, they spend all this time on the chase for the romance, which while was all felt well and fine, they'll end it right when they are going to get together again fast. And I'm like, no, I want to know, I want to see the dynamic of these two together.
Right.
But that's because there are a few anime that have really shown the dynamic of relationships together to an extent. Stuff like Lovely Complex or Tsukigakure recently. And I really like seeing the actual couples. I know this isn't to everybody's liking, but the shows like Junjou Romantica, which is a boys' love series, it's largely about the relationships of adults together and them dealing with their relationship issues, learning how to talk and deal with each other. And I loved seeing them actually show the dynamics of a relationship evolving and growing through discussion and the ups and downs of it, instead of just all the oh, do they not like me type of thing.
Yeah, I think we really need more shows like that. I know exactly what you're talking about when they actually show the levels of being in a relationship. I think we need way more shows.
And I definitely feel that, at least now, compared to like at least when I first started watching anime 5 years ago, I felt like there's a general trend more towards the actual relationship and actually solidifying the relationship. I feel that's a more common thing than it was back when I first started watching anime. I don't know if that's just me, but
I know you're not a big, like, go seek out the source material kind of guy.
mm-hmm.
A lot of shoujo or romance-based series were built to be short seasons to tease to go buy the manga, so they didn't want to show you everything on purpose.
I guess what I meant was there's more anime now that's adapting the relationship.
Yeah, which I agree with. It's nice to see that they're doing a little bit less of that advertising and actually letting the anime stand on its own more, which is great to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, next up, guys, I really want to know from each of you at least one anime that for you is a prime example of, like, they did romance correctly for you. So I did Nubo first this time, so this time I'll switch to Dino and let him go first.
So many good romances, but I gotta go with the one that got me into anime, which is Kaicho Maid-Sama. And I'm a simple man. I see blushings, I see tsunderes. I'm satisfied. I know lots of people say that tsunderes can be annoying, and I can see that, but Misaki from Maid-Sama, she was like the perfect tsundere.
Yes.
You can tell she really liked the main guy, and you can tell that the relationship gets stronger with every episode. And her tsundere kind of tough front breaks down gradually, and you get to see more of her sweet, cute side. So yeah, it was just full of happy moments and cute thoughts.
Yeah, I actually recently watched it myself for the first time with my girlfriend. It was a rewatch for her for like the 50th time. And getting to know Misaki and Usui was very interesting because Misaki is definitely, like, the relationship part of her life isn't really a big part until at least until a chunk of the series is finished in the anime. They really, like, solidify her as, like, a very strong individual character who balances a very busy school life, a very busy work life, and she's not well-to-do, and that's not something that really affects her as a person. It's actually helped define her character. So it's nice to have a lot of time built developing her character before the relationship, so when they start teasing the relationship part of the series with the romance, you can get a gist of why she reacts the way she does, and it's really fun to watch her.
Yeah, the characters in Maid-Sama are very well done.
Very funny, too.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say on Maid-Sama?
I think that's about it. I love it.
Okay. Nuvo, what is your go-to fantastic romance anime?
Oh my god, I have so many. It's hard to choose one. Damn it. It's so many. Let's go with because it's so many.
I know you earlier when I asked you about it, you listed like at least a half dozen shows.
Yes. You know, I got like 6 of them that I want to talk about, so I'm just like, But let's pick Snow White with the red hair. I think that should get the spotlight on this one. What I like about it, one, it has an amazing female lead that makes you fall in love at first sight. Head over heels in the feels meter. I also like totally adore how unchildlike the romance is like displayed. And I thought it was very unique the way they did that. Because some romance now, which I don't have a problem with it, but if you like at a certain age, most of the romance is geared toward the teens. So it's hard for me to relate to some of the romance that's portrayed in some of these series. And with Snow White and the red hair, to me, it was displayed in a more mature way. And I could really buy into what was happening. It's kind of why I like Yona the Dawn in some aspects. It was like portrayed in a mature way. So Snow White and the red hair. You know, I'm on Team Red. I love them redheads, man. I love them redheads.
Shout out to Stotovism.
Yeah, making them proud.
Yes, man.
How about you, Dux?
For me, I'm torn between, I don't know if I want to talk about an anime that does show stuff after they start dating, or if I want to talk about one that I really enjoy watching the build up to the eventual relationship. I guess I'll just go with the one that I was going to go with first anyway, so I'm going to talk about Clannad.
Nice!
So, you have Nagisa and Tomoya are the two. And Tomoya is a character who, and it's not even an exaggeration like you see in some shows, he's truly just kind of a standout kid in his school for just like not caring. He's kind of a delinquent and he just doesn't care about school. And Nagisa is a shy girl who's trying to do her best but kind of goes unnoticed by most. And whenever they cross paths, they get closer and closer. And throughout the whole first season of Clannad, for the most part, they really just kind of support each other as friends and get closer and closer through that until the last arc, where he specifically is helping her with what she wants. And it caps off with him eventually telling her that he has feelings for her, and they start dating. Then we get After Story, which is the second season, and it shows the apex of the relationship of when they start dating and everything from them getting married and having children, and just seeing the whole evolution of the relationship from two high school kids on very different paths who really made each other's lives better than ever when they finally connected and found out how to fill the holes in each other's lives, to adults who now, while they have their own problems, they have a great support system with each other and are happier than ever. And it's all because of the time and effort put into the relationship, and a lot of it we as viewers actually get to experience. And I absolutely loved just seeing how two would be the classic opposites attract. They aren't as different as they seem on the surface level, and they're really kind of meant for each other in a lot of ways.
Right. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Clannad was great. So good. Even though a whole lot of people don't like After Story for weird reasons.
Yeah, well, because Key has a tendency to have some more supernatural elements, and After Story has a small snippet of that, and the second half of it is very dramatic, would be a good word for it. There's a lot of hard-hitting emotional scenes in it, but it does pay off, in my opinion, for a very, very satisfying happy ending.
Yeah, I think it pays off, too. I mean, it hits you right in the feels when it's supposed to.
Okay, well, now that we've talked about anime that is romantically fantastical, how about we talk about anime that just frustrates us, that they really thought that would be a romance that we would enjoy.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see, who wants to go first? Dino or Nubo? Which one?
I think you should start, since we started before. So how about you go first?
That's fair. This is one I actually dropped halfway through because it was so frustrating to watch. Maybe Nubo watched it, although it was a seasonal, so you might have watched it too, Dino. It's called Wolf Girl and the Black Prince.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that brings back memories right there.
Huh. What year was this?
2014, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It is about a girl who goes to school, and she wants so badly to be popular that she hangs out with girls she doesn't even like. Mm-hmm. She lies about who she is and what she's into. And then she gets into some situation with this guy who is seen as the nice, pretty boy of the school, but he's actually a very, verbally and mentally abusive guy who makes her basically, his slave for most of the series. And he treats her awful, and she just lies to everybody, even her good friends who are actually good and supportive, she lies to all the time. And she's just constantly lying to herself about. And it's just two people who are really just kind of crappy people, and seeing the dynamic in their relationship is just, it's not fun or enjoyable like you'd see from two different people. It's there's not that redeeming quality. You're like, oh, they're gonna get better with the way they act. You're like, God, they're just really I don't like either of these people. Why do I want to watch these two people? And he's so abusive to her most of the time. It makes her feel awful, and she's starts to fall in love with him. I'm like, that's something I want to see.
As soon as you mentioned it, I was like, I knew exactly what series you was talking about. And to me, like you said, the reason why I think this series failed and bombed very, very bad, and it's a bad romance. All the foxes out here, don't watch this shit. Anyway, I think because the two mains, they wasn't likable at all. They didn't have any redeeming qualities whatsoever. You didn't care about them. Nothing. I actually liked the concept. It's just, I felt like it wasn't executed very well. You know what I'm saying? I think it had a nice concept, but it just wasn't executed well at all.
Yeah, you have this concept where okay, there's this girl who lies to herself and her classmates, and then this guy who is mysterious and has kind of a hard past, and he kind of reflects it on the people.
Right.
And you could make him go, oh, she lies to herself, but maybe she'll come to understand how good honesty will be for her.
Right.
Maybe he'll understand that is a good life for him too. But doesn't happen.
It doesn't. It's it could have flipped the book and turned something bad into a silver lining just a little bit. No, they didn't do that. Not with this series.
You too. Anything you can think of that's just an anime where you were watching it and you're like, why would I even ship this? It's abysmal with the way it's trying to show me the romance.
I'm gonna pass the baton to Den. Why I think.
It's tough because I generally don't hate a romance show just for its romance. I usually don't like it for other reasons. This is just my personal taste, but I don't like talky shows. And an example of this would be Monogatari series or EF Tale of series.
You didn't like that?
I'm just not a fan of that whole Shaft style, but that's just personal taste, not a reflection of the show, the quality.
Uh-huh.
But I guess if I don't know, I haven't had one in which I hated it, but there was one show recently in which I watched and I was like, I don't know about the dynamics of these two. And that was a recent show called Ren'ai Bōkun, I think called Love Tyrant or something like that. I wasn't a big fan of it. The comedy didn't get to me, and I don't know, but the main angel girl, she was adorable, but her attitude didn't lend to the romantic side, and I don't know. I guess it's just the show's comedy that didn't get to me, and that's why I didn't see the romance as appealing as well.
That's weird. I don't know. I just looked at the show like a niche harem, so I didn't look at it that deep, so maybe that's probably why I didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad show. It just didn't hit my personal tastes.
Yeah, I feel you.
Just kind of felt flat for you overall.
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, that happens. That happens to all of us. There's so much anime out there. Just some things aren't going to hit for you specifically.
I thought he was going to say snafu at first. I thought he was. I was like, Dan, you better not mention that series, dude. Just don't mention.
Speaking of other snafu.
Oh man.
When in doubt, just tear apart shows that Nouveau likes. It's the best way of the podcast.
I was like, do he want the rage meter right now?
That's my job normally.
I know, right?
How about you, Nouveau?
Me, I'm kind of like you, where now I've seen some bad romances, but I can't really name. Normally, when I drop a series, I just banish it from the frame of my mind and let somebody speak upon it. I can't really think of nothing right now to really talk about, far as like series base. But like, I can pretty much what I consider to be a bad romance. Like basically, to me, a series for a bad romance to be bad for me, when it don't have like, a connective web for its love, or the dramatics come off over the top and doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have like a strong cast that I can vibe with as a viewer. Because if you don't have a cast for a romance, then I won't care about the dramatic. I'm just like, So cast, gotta have a love web that connect everything ever so shiny. That's all you need for me to watch a romance. But if you don't have one out of the three, it's a bad egg.
Any specific eggs you can think of?
I'm scatterbrained. I can't.
It's snafu, right, Nouveau? It's snafu.
Yeah, I think it's snafu.
No, it's not snafu. Snafu is nothing but flames, man. Snafu is up there with like White Album 2 for me. I mean, that's how much love I got. Season 1 was solid. I'm especially talking about Season 2. Season 2, man, dude, it took me places. The feels meter was there every week. I haven't watched a series like that. Wow. But, I can understand people don't like snafu. It's a required taste.
I think you mentioned that just because for me.
Just a little jab.
I appreciate it, Nouveau.
yeah, just a little jab.
It's my absolute favorite. It's a little bit of pre-talk before we start doing this, and it always finds a way to sneak it.
We're not going to mention snafu in this podcast. God damn it.
Oh my god, here we go.
It's time to move a little bit more forward. So, how do you guys feel about the idea of romance depicted in harems? Or harems, if you prefer.
I don't have any problem, with harem. I pretty much grew up with them. It's almost should be regarded as the medium wet dream almost. We have I mean, basically,
yeah, you're not wrong.
We got some great harem series out there, like Nisekoi, which didn't mention. The World God Only Knows. Is This a Zombie? I Don't Have Many Friends. High School DxD. Yamakon and 7 Wishes. How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. We have some good quality harems out there. So I have no problem with harems. The only time I have a problem with harems is when they have a main character and they're very undecisive of the direction they want to go, as far as they want to lean towards this girl or that girl. You know what I'm saying? When it's like that, I don't really like that. And they fan service me to death, and they never really give me a hard, conclusion. You know what I'm saying? I don't like harems like that. A harem, I need you gonna play the fiddle, you gonna rock out with all the chicks, or you gonna give me the number one best girl. Just pick. It gotta be one or the two.
Yeah. I don't mind harems in general, because they're kind of trying to serve a specific purpose most of the time.
Right.
I definitely don't seek them out particularly for the idea of romance. I usually, because harems also tend to be comedies, so I usually watch them for entertainment value of that, and also something Dinah mentioned earlier, interactions between the characters, because that's usually one of the most enjoyable parts of them.
Exactly.
Typically, I'm never satisfied with like the couple itself because I don't get a lot of gratification out of that build-up, but that doesn't matter because that's not what I'm really there for, so whatever, but... I usually treat them a little bit separate than romances because they don't usually build on the idea of love that much itself other than teasing a lot. While I love a nice tease, sometimes I've had enough. What about you, Dana? How do you feel about harems in romance?
I actually really like harems, but I'll first mention why certain harems don't work. Some harems don't work for me is if, first of all, is if there's too much fan service. Nuvo mentioned this. If there's too much fan service and nothing else, that's when a harem goes sour for me.
Yeah.
Second big reason is when the main character is too dull and doesn't realize even the most obvious of signs shown towards him. That's when I'm just like, come on, even in real life, this is pretty obvious.
Right.
Which is why I like shows such as guilty pleasures such as Trinity 7.
Nice.
The main character is very smart and clearly knows that all the girls like him, and he takes advantage of it. Not to a rude extent, but he knows.
Right.
But another aspect why I like harems is that harems are kind of like the motherlode of romances. It's like the ultimate wish fulfillment for any, main protagonist, if that be, a shoujo or a shoujo-ai. Because, you have this one character surrounded by a bunch of, potential husbandos or waifus.
Right.
And, who wouldn't want to be in that situation?
Right.
So, which is why I love shows such as Nisekoi or harems like the world God only knows, because there's so many different best girls to choose from.
Yes. Yes.
That must be the atypical one. I'm always just like, I only want one. I only want one.
Yeah. For me, it's like, oh, more the merrier. Bring them on.
I could take them all.
It's like Christmas, but with boobs.
Yes. Oh, Lord.
But obviously, I do like it when the main character picks one as well. That's just more progression. I also like that as well, but I like harems a lot.
I don't mind them. I mean, they definitely have their pros and cons for the way they approach the genre, just like any other type of romance does. Because I definitely agree. They provide wish fulfillment out the ass, literally sometimes.
Yes. Wet dream, man. I'm trying to tell you.
And yeah, standard harems or reverse harems are widely popular for a reason, is if they're able to make a compelling cast that you can care about, not just lots of abs or titties. Because, like, while bodies are nice in their own regard, if it has no substance with it, it loses. It's like going to a strip club, loses its appeal after you realize your wallet's empty.
Damn, I understand that.
So, like, they're interesting the way they're dynamic, because they're like their own unique brand of the way they decide to deal with the idea. So, guys, what do you really want to see more of, though, in romance? What is romance lacking for you? What is it really missing? Like, what don't we see enough in the world of romance anime? Because I know for me, the only thing I'm missing is, I mentioned it earlier, too much of the chase, not enough of the after the chase. I want to see both. I want to see the building to the relationship, and I want to see their relationship together and how its dynamic changes and evolves as they learn how to be a couple together.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's definitely nice to see when a relationship has flourished and you see their interactions and happy moments and sad moments if you want. But I would like to also see more of the post say I love you and kiss scenes and all that after.
Right.
Yeah, that's why, like, I know Haitaka wanted us to mention Makoto Shinkai, but he makes me angry because he always ends most of his things with like will they ever? Who knows?
Turns around.
Yeah, except for your name. Your name, he at least was okay. Well, and Garden of Words, he at least teased that things were going to be okay, but all of the rest of them are just like, nope.
There was a moment at the end of Your Name in which he could have ended it right there and it would have been pretty bad.
It would have been just like 5 centimeters per second, where it's like, nope.
Don't do it. We've been having a happy podcast. Don't miss it 5 cents right now.
Even if you think that's good dramatic storytelling, that is sad, is it not?
5 centimeters was nothing but flames. It was love. It resonated with me. I thought it was realistic the way he ended it. So you asked the wrong person. I thought it was realistic. I liked it.
I'll take it over the Place Promise in our early days any day, because I thought that was just meh.
You ain't like that?
No, I thought it was awful.
What?
On the left corner, we have Nuvo. On the right corner, we have Dukes. All right, fight, go.
One of these, we're going to have just a Makoto Shinkai thing, because I really just think
thought that was I thought it was beautiful.
I thought most of his movies are only okay at best.
What?
Yeah, the only things he's made so far that I've genuinely liked a lot are Garden of Words in Your Name. Everything else he's made, I've just been like, it's okay, or I don't like it.
Right. I mean, most of his films is pretty much, if it's resonate with you, it resonates. So I understand you on that point. So.
I'm more of a fan of Hosoda's films out of those two. Mm-hmm. But we'll talk about movies some other time. But in terms of like romance and anime, I want more things like we see like with Ore Monogatari and Tsukigakure, where like you really get to see how they learn to be a couple together.
Right. I mean,
yes.
and then like the romance genre to me, I think it really needs to. I love the chase and I love like the relationship goal and all that stuff, but I think the romance genre really needs to break it down some more and not be so niche. You know what I'm saying? Like. Really break down what it means to be in a relationship with the struggles. You don't have to do it in every series, but I would like to see more series do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think the genre relies too heavily on using the same ideas a lot of the time and just knowing it works and hoping it'll sell.
It's like a formula. We understand it. You want to make money. You don't want to strive towards, what's not about to sell. We get that. But some studios out there, come on, man. You got the money. You can take an L for being realistic. I'm just saying.
Because you mentioned Ore Monogatari and Tsukigakure, which are both incredibly cute and happy, kind of post moment, kissing moment kind of shows, which displays their interaction. Yes. I want to kind of quickly bring up a show from this season that might be overlooked, and I mentioned this to Nuvo recently, and that is Tsurezure Children. It's a 12-minute show, but it's one of the cutest shows you'll ever see. It's basically the interactions between multiple couples, and you get to see different dynamics and see their interactions, and it's super cute. And if you like Ore Monogatari or Tsukigakure, you definitely should check that show out.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have me incredibly curious now because I didn't say it earlier, but I am a diehard romantic at heart, so you're speaking to me there, Dinah.
We know.
Sweet.
You got the roses in your mouth 24/7, man.
I mean, I go by Doki as a nickname, so.
Nice.
Ducky.
Nice.
So, guys, is it the journey of the romance or the final destination that matters?
Sometimes it's the final destination for me. The journey is dependent on how the memories and everything is tied up, but then it still leads into the final destination. So I'm gonna say the final destination. What about you, Dan?
Okay. While I agree that the final destination is extremely important and it kind of wraps things up very nicely, this is the whole concept of the ending is, paramount, and I'm actually not for that. I actually prefer the journey over the destination. Just the plain fact that throughout the show, I am enjoying the majority of the show, the vast chunk of the show, which is the journey. And if at the end it ends badly, I'm not going to go back and say, oh, that wasn't worth it. Because I don't really look back on a show like that. If it ends bad, it ends bad. But if I enjoyed the entire journey and the romance and interactions between that, I think overall the show is enjoyable to me.
That's interesting. You better than me. I can't do that. That's the main reason why I couldn't like Golden Time. I love the journey. Then I got that final episode. I was like, fuck it. I love Golden Time until we got to the final episode. I was like, oh no, I can't buy into this. No, not Ghost. Nope, I can't do this.
How about you, Dux?
I'm gonna push out and say both because it's really, for me, it's the combination of both that really makes the romance the most satisfying. While the final destination is important, if the journey attached to it isn't good, why would I care? But also, if I have all this build-up of this long journey, if I don't get a satisfying conclusion, I'm going to be majorly angry. If I get the combination of both, basically like what you both love, if I get both of those, then I'm a happy man. If not, then I'm going to be like, why?
Right.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Nothing is, black and white.
No. Yeah, I'm like a cat I see in gray.
Right. I mean, it's like rare times, like from me to you. It wasn't perfect. We wanted them to, spoiler alert, we wanted them to, like, kiss, but it was like a happy, like, fuck, why didn't it show me that? You know what I'm saying? I like endings like that. You know what I'm saying?
Extra spoiler alert, if you 20 chapters later in the manga, it happens.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
The manga is so good right now.
Yes.
And that's Kimi ni Todoke for everybody else who doesn't know the Japanese title.
Yes, that's so dope. I didn't know that happened. Yes, I'm so happy right now. Yes!
Yeah, they have a lot of progression. I really hope Production IG decides to make more of that.
One day.
Yeah, that's all important. Before we finish up talking about romance, were there any other series or ideas for romance related that you guys wanted to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
Any series you want to give a shout out for just being a hella good time?
Oh, you already know. Snafu Season 2. I got White Album 2 on deck. What we got?
I thought he said he hated Snafu. I know what happened.
Ah, man.
I love...
Nuvo, come on.
I love Snafu. You know, Den just be... He cray-cray, so he don't like Snafu. So that's just all it be. You know, Snafu Season 2, From Me to You, we mentioned 5 centimeters per second. Fuck what Captain saying. 5 minutes. 5
We're just shitting all over Nuvo's.
Snafu sucks.
Y'all hit me in the feels right now. I'm getting personal. 5 centimeters per second. Waiting in the Summer. Low key. It was real good series.
Oh, yeah. Enonatsu. Yeah, Enonatsu Danmateru is very good.
Real good. Yona the Dawn.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
That was my recommendation.
Yeah. Oh, it was?
Nuvo's just
Oh, my God.
taking them all. Boom, boom, boom.
Man, I'm trying to get out. I think that's all of them that I can think of right now.
Might as well just go through my library and list off every romance show on my library.
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, because the one I definitely wanted to shout out because it's one I had a lot of good times with recently was Kimi ni Todoke.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of good romances out there. We've mentioned most of the ones I really like.
Oh, Nana. Low key, Nana is good. Yes.
And I'll give a shout out to The World God Only Knows.
Yes. Season 3. Oh my god, it was so good. So good.
School days, guys. School days.
Oh,
No.
Would you throw school days out there? No, I don't know.
Are you guys on the boat?
I like what Den did right there. Yes. Ooh, is you guys on the boat? Are you? Would you take that boat ride?
I'm gonna keep pure arbitration for that and say no. I guess the one I'll call out is one of my favorite anime, Cross Game.
Cross Game.
Cross Game has one of the most subtle romances I've ever seen in anime, and I really think it's something that is kind of overlooked for the series because it's just really a fantastic slice of life drama more than anything, but it definitely has really subtle elements of the way it depicts its romantic implications as well.
Cross Game is... You turned me on to Cross Game. I'm glad you did because Cross Game is fantastic.
Okay, well, if that is everything, unless Dinah actually has another one he wants to name, then we will move on to the news.
I think that's it for me.
Recently, however you want to say it, if you want to call it Otakon, or Otakon as I like to say it, because I'm a Metal Gear fan. Otakon!
Snake!
Dun, 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 dun. So, some really cool stuff. First up, since we've already discussed it before, all you skeptics or excited folks alike, get ready. The debut on the Netflix Death Note film will be out, so go watch it and tell us if you love it, hate it, or you just keep scratching your head why they keep Americanizing Japanese media.
Yeah, and the actual date is August 25th, because I'm pretty sure this episode will be out after the airing of that show.
Yeah, so we'll just comment on all the people's reactions for it. Other noteworthy news, at Otakon, is what I wanted to mention. We had some really cool announcements. Nozomi and Right Stuff, their panel had some really cool stuff where they are going to release these huge Blu-ray collector's editions of, there's 3 anime. G Gundam is one of them. Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Revolutionary Girl Utena, which I hate advertising, but
it's
even some of the worst anime out there has to be advertised. And one that most people were really excited about because they did it through a Kickstarter to help fund it, Aria the Animation. And a up-and-coming localized American company that really just is coming out of nowhere and is picking up a bunch of stuff. Their name is Discotech. First time I heard of this company was recently when they decided that they wanted to try to localize the Wizard of Oz World Masterpiece Theater anime from, 25, 30 years ago. And now they have announced they are going to be dubbing and releasing DVDs and Blu-ray copies of the following. So give me a second as I name them all. First, Robot Carnival. Then the family-friendly and adorable Banana. And then after that, and it's also, if you're a YouTube fan of Team 4-Star, they're going to be help dubbing it. Their name of the anime is called Hells.
Ooh. I'm looking forward to that.
And then this next one, will incredibly excite you, Nuvo. They're going to be making a Blu-ray DVD release of Tomorrow Joe.
No way! Oh my god! Woo! Yes! The best fucking news of the day. TG, baby! Woo! I'm ready. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a Tomorrow Joe fan.
No. I wanted to feel the hype, and now my ears are bleeding. So
I'm sorry. TJ, baby. Oh my god!
And we have a few other classics they're also bringing over. Cyborg 009 is one of them. And Lupin III, The Legend of the Gold Babylon.
Cool.
Nia 7 as well. And that is all of them, unless I missed one. But they are localizing and bringing over a lot of things that have not gotten releases before, really. So I really hope they continue and do well, because there may be a bunch of shows from the past 30 years that we could finally get legalized copies of. And I don't know, to me that's exciting, because I would prefer to actually be able to own some of these classic things physically and support the industry.
Tomorrow Joe needs to be owned by everybody.
Need someone to buy it.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
That was definitely the big news. Other than that, since between last episode and this episode, there was also Anime Expo. There wasn't a lot announced, although they did have some new trailers for seasons 2 and 3 of Fully Cooley.
Yeah.
Which I am skeptical about, because I don't think you can really recreate the originality of what they did way back in 2000. What was it? 1?
I'm on the fence too. You know, I'm a huge Fully Cooley fan, but I'm on the fence.
I hate Fully Cooley because it's weird and confusing.
Oh my god. Okay, Cap, you can talk about something else now.
Oh, come on now. Fully Cooley is a show where you either love it or you hate it.
I know, but
it's so weird.
I wasn't ready, man. I'm going on TJ hype, and then you just, you know.
That's fine, man. I mean, I do hope it does well. I just don't know how I feel about the new Fully Cooley, so we shall see.
I know.
I guess the only thing I can note is the Blu-ray sales for Your Name have done really well.
Nice.
So that's great. I know Dinah's happy because he wants everybody to have a copy right now.
Including myself.
There you go.
Hey, Dinah, I promise if you enter the November challenge that I do every year and you win, that's what you'll get.
Hey, keep it down low.
Hey, go ahead, man. Oh, man.
So Nuvo, what's a romance anime that you could recommend to the viewers, or anything you want to recommend this week?
Let's go with the latter. So this week, I would recommend a series called Gamers. I think it's real nice what the series is trying to do. It's trying to shine light on the perspective of being a gamer, of things like you deal with being a gamer, of not being a hardcore gamer, of why you play games. And the comedy is really nice. I love the unpredictable part about the series. It's a gem. It's a gem for this current season. So all the foxes flock to it. The hype is real.
And you hear that right? It is gamers, like Gaymers. No, it's gamers, like video games.
Yes.
We will leave a link in the below. User recommendation of the week. It's Romance Week, so why wouldn't I? I'm going to call out my girlfriend Futatsu. She's shy and she probably won't get back to you right away, and she might be like, why did you send people to me? But she's super sweet. She's always looking for new people to talk to. If you don't know who she is and you think she looks nice to talk to, give her a hello and tell her we said hi. But yeah, that was pretty much everything. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening today about romance. Somewhere below on our wherever we post this, whether it's on Kitsu, YouTube, iTunes, or any other form of social media you see it on that you see fit to give us fair criticism or ideas. Tell us what romance you love, and also tell us which romance you hate. We want to know so we can avoid the bad stuff or watch it with just for the heck of it.
Snafu.
Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Thank you so much for listening and for bearing with us for being silly people and realizing that Nuvo hates Snafu as much as he does.
I love Snafu.
Don't listen to him.
We really wish you the best day possible. Maybe we'll discover something we didn't even know existed too. That's what I would really hope. But otherwise, I definitely wish all of you a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are while listening to this. I'm Dokes.
Nouveau Nokai here. Cheers.
I'm Dinah. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time.